It's time for Power Hour.
Hello, traders. Welcome to the Sunday evening stream. It's the weekly candle close stream. We're looking at the Bitcoin weekly chart because it's appropriate. Less than 50 minutes to go till that close, and you can see the thumbnail. It just bearish engulfing candle will be confirmed in less than an hour, and it's not a big deal. I mean, bearish engulfing candles, bullish engulfing candles don't really matter till the next week or next day, whatever time frame you're looking at, until you get like a follow through candle. So next week will probably be important. One thing that happened this weekend, it was kind of eventful, right? I mean, things were melting down, and then it's like, just kidding, completely reversed. Something that was kind of discussed, first it was 114 because the CME futures gap. Then it was like, well, if that doesn't hold, then 112, the previous all-time high from May. And that's exactly what we saw at the lows yesterday and at the lows of today. So it was technically 2 times, so kind of a confirmation low on less significant time scales. You can see 112, May 22nd, all-time high. Sold it off, tested, and reversed, working on a bullish engulfing candle on the daily. But yeah, I mean, a lot more ground to cover. You probably want to get back above 116.8 without an edge, right? There's no edge going on, no confirmation lows. We're just looking at the price and its correlation to levels. If they didn't hold 112, then it'd be a pretty easy, I think, 109.358, 110. The weekly shows the zone a lot better. It's, shoot, man, it's I mean, really, you got to think about, like, if we actually sold off, more, like, you'd be fine until maybe sellers broke 98K. They could take this thing down to like 104, 105, hold that level even, because there was no formal weekly back test of 104.4559, which is the old weekly candle high close from December last year. So even if things got that bad, you're still like fine. I don't know how fine altcoins would be, my God, but what a recovery today on XRP. It was down over 8%, 9% yesterday at the lows, but it hit same type of respective level like Bitcoin saw at 112. We'll look at it. Hope you had a good weekend. We're just, patiently awaiting your lowest weekly candle close since June 30th. What are you going to do? Remember what happened last week? It was the highest weekly candle close literally ever. So, all right, a little hangover off that. You can see on the 4-hour, we just resolved with a bearish breakdown after the third peak kind of locally. 3 falling peaks. Anyway, let's go to Bitcoin dominance. How was that fared? It was rallying, and then I would imagine, yeah, today with XRP and a few others doing well, it's pulling back. It's down 0.59% yesterday, but yesterday it was the highest daily candle close since July 16th. And above everything is the 61.68% level. I mean, this is massive. I mean, it's resistance even, it was early back to November all the way through March, February of, this year. And then it's just so real. It's that swing low, the initial touch, like from May of 2017, and then price action just correlated to it, reversal, support, reversal, the upside, resistance, reversal. So we just know how freaking important this level is. Make it like perfect right there. We're above that. So, history just kind of shows you what happens typically above that level given enough time. Look, it broke, and then it was support, and then it ran up to 70% before reversing. So that's just not good for alts. We really want to see, right? If we could pick, we would want for altcoins this chart to lose that level resoundingly. So we're below the 200-day moving average, which is good. I hope this is it, man. I hope altcoins start outperforming, and then this draws down after making the first lower low than previous low. you would now want to see a lower high than previous high. Even if they rallied this, as long as we get a lower high than 66%, then we could start talking about a trend reversal, because we haven't been making lower highs, lower lows since 2022, dude. So waiting on data to present itself implying trend reversal, which would be great for alts, but it would be bad for Bitcoin to US dollar, because that means if Bitcoin dominance is rising in this situation we got going on, that means probably Bitcoin selling off, with altcoins selling off even worse. You think the 3-day looks good on Bitcoin? 3-day? I mean, all you got's a back test of 112. That's it. That's literally it. Yeah, man, there's a framework. We apply it to assets. Sometimes it plays out, sometimes it doesn't. But certainly, we have good reward to risk and an increased probability than 50% that a reversal will be coming at those, or continuation be coming at those levels. So I don't think you necessarily have any sort of edge here or amazing reward to risk. I mean, you're talking about the 3-day being great, and then you look at the RSI and MACD, and it's like, my God, here's a high, here's a slightly higher high hitting a 1272, and you know what that is. Oh my God, it's like, it's literally bearish divergence. It's not as severe on the RSI. I mean, it literally, if you're going by the actual textbook, it's Class A bearish divergence. This, the first high is higher than the second high. But that's probably closer to Class C bearish divergence, which is not as scary, not as bad. It does not literally imply impending price action reversal to the downside. MACD is another story. I mean, this much momentum on this run, and then, on the next run, substantially lower levels with negative momentum beginning to build. It's not great, not great. You're seeing a little bit of buyer exhaustion up here, but it could be worse, I guess. Again, dude, we like swing trading. We like chart patterns. We like bullish dragon breakouts, and there was bullish divergence on the second foot. On that second foot, I mean, you were nearing very key levels, and then it was just the breakout, the back test, the breakout. Okay, piercing line reversals on the weekly, on the index funds at the same time. Those are some pretty good technicals after nice established drawdowns for maybe a couple months, 6 weeks, whatever. You're still just coming off of last week was the highest weekly candle close ever. So you're like paying all-time high on premium for this asset. Still, you're up there amongst the highest levels ever. So I bet there's a way. Let me real quick try to just get a cleaner slate on Bitcoin real quick. All right, one sec. Let's see. Let me just really clean here. Can we plot some sort of channel on a clean canvas Bitcoin chart? So you definitely have one. I mean, long term, but maybe going from the April low. I'm wondering what that would look like. Would it just be 1 and 2 here? Good God, dude. Since the April low, right? I mean, if you anchor that as anchor point 1, and now you have anchor point 2 from June 22nd, anchor point, or the second anchor point would be from May on the top side. So you have 1, 2, 3 valid, anchoring for a channel. You would say, like, this is literally the lowest thresholds of an uptrend, right? This is the oversold threshold of the uptrend. So I don't know how this is going to hold, I don't know how it's going to, actually play out. But again, like, we don't have like the awesome edge and the harmonic with the type 2 return with the bullish divergence and the slightly lower low on the type 2, and it's all correlating at a key inflection point from history. The tree peak guy. We don't have that on Bitcoin. 99% of the time, you're probably not going to have that on any asset on any given day. You have to look for them, right? And you have to scan and scan and scan, always be scanning to look for those opportunities. So we're just trying to figure out kind of what's going on with Bitcoin, since we don't really have that channel. Pretty nice. Hope it holds, man. That'd be legendary, wouldn't it? Tomorrow's a big day. JL, what's going on tomorrow? Was there something crazy? Yeah, MicroStrategy got destroyed. Yeah, because the bear's dragon, right? Hey, there was kind of a MicroStrategy. Like it was discussed before this markdown. You know it. It was there. Someone asked. I think someone tipped about it. It's like, dude, bear's dragon. It's like you've kind of got a structural development that is more leaning bearish. If it's gonna play out, and like, yeah, it's begun to play out. Now it's, bad action magnum is 358. And then below that, you got some pretty good support, 333 through 341. So it was a really bad day. It'll probably be up, tomorrow, 3+%, just because maybe what Bitcoin's done. And if the futures continue to hold, should be all right. But yeah, I mean, that was a bad macro down Friday, dude. You didn't want to be in anything. I guess except bonds, dude. Yeah, because yields dumped too. So weekly on MicroStrategy was a little uglier. It's even stronger, It's oh my god, it's so nice of a bearish dragon on the weekly. I guess one peak, it's a second peak, right? The X, the A, the B, the C wave completing maybe, and the C to D wave is typically larger. So yeah, you look at the monthly, then it's like controversial, or someone could start painting an argument that's very scary, where it's like double top, 1 and 2 here. You haven't seen negative momentum on MicroStrategy's monthly since May 1st of 2023. That's crazy, dude. I definitely think you could say there's some bearish divergence on the RSI on the monthly. So, but yeah, what does this mean? This just means like, even if it pivoted and it rallied higher soon, you are an extremely high risk situation for fresh longs. There's no value here. You're paying all-time high premium. It's just applying the framework to take a long. It's crazy. There's nothing here to do, unfortunately. Just how it is, man. Yeah, it sucks kind of because Bitcoin's like that too. On like these higher end time scales, you're like looking at the monthly. It's ridiculous. It could keep going nonstop. It has now been 4 months in a row of positive closes. Again, we love Bitcoin. We pay attention to it. We got it, the ticker. We're always watching the price. But the swing trader, position trader in us knows this is just like, hey, dude, a couple with handle men on the monthly, and then like it hit the measured move last month perfectly. And it's like, well, if it pauses here, if we pull back some, does it really matter? 3 months, 2 months, doesn't matter. Like Bitcoin on the monthly could literally go down like to sub 90K and still be fine. It could come down to 73K on the monthly and still literally be fine. Yeah, all right. So just amazing monthly. No negative momentum on Bitcoin's monthly chart since June of 2023, just like MicroStrategy. Absurdity. Crazy. And you really just do not want Bitcoin to start stalling out here because a monthly RSI overbought again on a higher price, and it overbought again on a higher price, right? I mean, you do not want to start counting triple bearish divergence on the monthly. Yeah, but again, we know finite supply, one of the most incredible inventions of all time. Decentralized, no counterparty risk. It is absolutely incredible. We love Bitcoin, but technically it's like, what do you do as a swing trader? Nothing, probably nothing. But hey, you got your other, account or cold storage wallet. Just keep adding, man. Pull back, add, pull back, never sell. Yep, that's the whole point. But that's different than swing trading, position trading, which what we try to like emphasize points here. Okay, so. Enough of, oh my god, dude. We didn't even look at Bitcoin futures. Sorry. Let's do it. Just going on a rant here. Bitcoin futures after an all-time high last. It is incredible. Same cut with Hendelman, measure move, same thing. No negative momentum since June 2023. It's insane. The daily was spectacular on Friday because we got an official gap fill, and we have gapped up, just hanging around on the daily here. So if they can't hold that, again, probably 112 on futures, and then 109, 110 would be a strong candidate area for maybe some bids to come in. You would want to see some, you know, price action here. You would want to see it violated, recaptured, reconfirmed, look with a slightly higher low locally. That would be phenomenal. But this is all we have, right?
Just close the fucking door. Close the door.
Since we started out on Bitcoin, let's go further into crypto.
All right, Ethereum up 3.62%, working on a bullish engulfing candle. Very nice. I mean, it's near its highs of the day. If it's not, yeah, it's a little off its highs of the day. But 3,500, big deal, I guess, right? But if you care about looking left, it's not as important as 3,520 to 3,580. Why? Well, it's not my, I don't know. I don't make it up. It's just how it is, right? It's how it's manufactured and how price action correlates to levels later down the road. So clearly they violated the level, the buyers up thrusted through it, you dumped, hit support, and then you rallied to perfectly bearishly back test that level before drawing down again, and then lack of demand, and then, you know, you dumped, broke support lower. So we just know, oh look, they tested support, they ran it to resistance, perfect bearish back test, and collapsed, right? We just know this level is very real, and it goes back to right here, 2022, goes back to 2021. I mean, that's the level. It's not 3,500, it's 3,520, 3,580. Yes, correct. So we're not above it. I hope we do in the next 33 minutes bust above it, being it's so strong and Bitcoin's not really moving. The engulfing candle's nice. You'd want follow through tomorrow, but it would be really good if we could get some sort of candle close maybe this week above 35.80, and then you got an easy target of 3,900 again. Oh, is that how it goes? Yes, you break resistance, then you probably run to the next resistance. If you don't, you start rolling over again, then it's like, oh god, distribution going on. So good day after a bad day. Yesterday was the lowest daily candle close on Ethereum since July 16th, and today we're covering the previous candle, but no technical breakout unfolding, just testing it as resistance for now. I'll have an alert set up if we're going to at least recapture 3520 by the close, you know. Yeah, high of day right here, I think. Very nice. Weekly, because the weekly candle is closing. Oh god, it's not too bad. It's scaled out. Yeah, just
hey,
reversing.
Mitch, can you look at Neural/Weth? Thanks.
Ishtaj, thank you, dude. Yes, the answer is yes. Neural to wrapped ether. Yep. Hit the like button on his contribution. Thank you, dude. 3590. We know for a fact what it is on the weekly. It is everything. And we saw a test early in the week of that level and no higher. I remember G-Dog even saying after we tested it, he said something about, thank you so much buyers for accepting my asks at this level or something. And it was crazy, you know, go to bed, think nothing of it, and then wake up and it's like, wow, we never saw that level again. You know, we went, you know, from 39.40 all the way to a low point at 33.60. But we've come off the lows, of course, and you are, it looks like 31 minutes till it's confirmed bearish engulfing candle like Bitcoin. I don't think it's a big deal. This structure is massive. Well, I think it's a 1,000-day large right angled descending. No, it's a 500-day large right angled descending broadening formation where even if things get bad, dude, like you just got to look at this long term. Like no problem, no problem. Like this is what we like. If you want to swing trade, man, if you want to be strategic, you probably want $2,900 to $3,000 Ethereum. So you can, if you get something like this, you can set an entry and a stop loss that is strategic with max upside potential if it succeeds and you don't get stopped out. And if that happened, you'd get a potential partial decline on this huge, well-developed structure. Very well-developed. My God, 4 touches on the top, 3+ on the bottom. It's incredible. I mean, this would be like, I would email Thomas Bulkowski if we ever got something like this. But it's time to come out of retirement No more hanging out in your garden with your dog. It's time to long Ethereum. Because if we saw this and we got a retest to 39.30 later, like Q4 or something, typically the magic time for equities and crypto, what we've seen in the past, 70% chance of a breakout. Maybe the partial decline would be confirmed, and then yeah, a huge markup. You'd probably be going to all-time highs and fib extensions if that ever happened. So I would embrace August, September, the worst time of the year for the markets. It just is. It goes back to the 1920s, dude. It just is. If you want me to read off the AI reason why, because, you know, it's just a statistic, and then it's like, well, what's the reasoning behind the statistic? We could definitely go into it a little bit if you want, okay? God, I gotta go to the bathroom. Doing a lot of cardio today. And water and coffee just blowing through me. Hold on a sec. What the heck, man? Trying to find it. Okay, here it is. So it's like, you know, one reason would be seasonal factors, the summer lull, right? We could be correcting partly due to, you know, summertime rally sell-offs, right? People take profit after what we saw, and they did, right? What happened to Amazon was insane, where Amazon, the entire month of June, or the entire month of July, a good rally. And then what happened? Earnings reported, lost literally all the gains for the entire month of July in less than a day, in hours. So yeah, people take profit. So August sees lower trading volumes. Many investors and traders take vacations, leading to less liquidity and then higher volatility. Then markets can amplify price swings. That definitely makes sense, right? End of fiscal quarters. So September marks the end of the third quarter for many firms, prompting portfolio rebalancing, tax-related selling, or adjustments ahead of earnings reports, which can pressure stocks. Post-summer sentiment. Investors return from summer breaks, may reassess portfolios, leading to sell-offs if economic or geopolitical concerns arise. Well, you know, I think we had something like that, right? Plenty of that stuff, right? My God, talking about, the Taiwan premier, whatever. China's preparing to invade Taiwan. Well, if that doesn't get you going with semiconductors, I don't know what would. Then just this whole rate stuff and interest rates being too high, but the stock market's was hitting all-time high, so it's like you can't really raise interest rates even though people need it desperately, like, you know, the middle class, and people are just priced out of homes and they can't afford it. So historical events, major market crashes, well, you know, that's going more into October, what the AI is talking about. Psychological behavioral factors, September effect, I think some August, partly self-fulfilling. Investors expecting weakness may sell preemptively, creating downward pressure. Media coverage of seasonal trends can amplify the sentiment. And then economic data and policy, late summer and early fall often bring economic reports. Employment, inflation, well, we got that. We dealt the jobs numbers too. That was insane. I mean, the job number revisions was like nothing short of criminal. Someone should be going to jail for that. Federal Reserve updates can spark uncertainty if the data disappoints or signals tighter policy. So, yeah, anyway, I'm just like, it's good conversation. It's good to bring it up because it's like, well, why? Like, it just is, man. Well, that's deeper into the reason for it. So it's not just August. It's more so September is even worse, I think, than August. So just pay attention. Just know that it could get real choppy with maybe like some up and down moves, but maybe not much direction, which is going to be tough, death by a thousand cuts. You really want to be careful in these couple months. Just relax. If you made profit this summer, it's okay to relax, man. Just chill out. Do not get chopped out. Do not like lose your gains because of what we're maybe about to see. All right, so Ethereum, right, bearish engulfing candle, 25 minutes, it's closed. Daily, we talked about engulfing, up against resistance, but not breaking it. In fact, if you close like this, you may engulf, but it would be your second test Resistance, resistance. My God, do not bearishly bamboozle, which is like bullishly engulfing into bearishly engulfing the bullish engulfing. That's the bamboozle, okay? Don't do that, because it's a long way down to $3,000, which again would be a good target area to maybe start looking for structures to develop, something we would like here, and we can start strategizing entries, stop losses, and good max upside. Okay, that's Ethereum, and then we can look at just go to XRP, up 6.6%, completely recovering, thank God, right? I mean, but it's so cool what they did. And it wasn't even yesterday what they did, it was today. I think this is crazy, right? These lines, they've been here. Going back to that daily candle close, kind of, highest close of 2024, one of the highest closes ever, but it wasn't an all-time high. Back from 2017, I think. But December 2024, that candle high close reversal, where the beginning of the range, that's when it started developing, the range. They went down and they tested it like the Jesus, like to the 10th of cent. And that is what reversed. So you just had scalpers, you had tons of limit buys set up, and it is just cascaded into this candle where it's almost completely covering that nasty 6.44% loss candle yesterday. So very nice, man. I hope it sustains. I hope it holds. Again, what sucks for us here is like we're swing traders, so we want structure. Unfortunately, the last structure we've seen on XRP was a bullish dragon, and that that took from its highest point to lowest point when it broke out, I think 47 days of development. So do we have a structure here? I mean, maybe. Not on the daily. 4 hour, you got probably a supply line here. Oh, look at it like that. My God, it's like right up. If it's not breaking out, it's real close. But see, when you start going to the 4 hour, these could be less reliable. So it's like, is it a dragon? It could be. Like, I think that's a 1618 from the low to high. Yeah, it hit a golden mean ratio. That's what's freaking nuts about this. We had done the same anchoring, I think on Friday, maybe Thursday, where this is the max threshold of a potential shark, right? Or the max threshold for a C point of a dragon. So they hit it and they bounce, and it's been just, over a day of just positive closes on the 4 hour. Back with a 200. Interesting. So I guess you're kind of on, well, if we do it like this, then you're kind of not broken out at all. Okay, that makes sense. If we're going to, let's anchor on the 4 hour. 1 and 2 and 3 and then 4 here. No breakout. No spine break. So that's the level to break. They could run up there, test the $3 as resistance, hit the supply line, and there's supply there and it rolls over. So nothing to get too excited about. Yeah, we gotta wait. Okay, but nice.
Lord Ray, dollars are looking like a generational wealth transfer in the making. Would love your thoughts on it. Thanks for showing up and doing the Lord's work. God bless you and God bless America.
Lucky Lurker, thanks to 22 repeating, of course. We will take a gander at you. Yes, thank you, dude. Appreciate you watching, everyone watching, anyone tuned in right now. If you're enjoying this, hit that like button, that bell, that sub. Thanks for being here, for real. Sunday, you could be doing anything. If you're here, my God, super grateful. Means a lot. We're trying to make sense of these markets, dude. Because you're not always going to have an edge. Most of the time, you're not going to have an edge. Most of the time, they're not going to be favorable structures that give us an increased probability of positive resolution. Most of the time, it's just impulses, price action, initially testing a level, but not quite engulfing, but we're still below $3, psychological, and it's actually from March 2nd, it's there. So we're just covering it as it is, right? The current data we have. Let me go to the weekly. Weekly doesn't, weekly's like kind of meh, I guess, yeah, it's trying to hold on to 289. I guess that's going to hold, hopefully. Yeah, not the best weekly. Not the worst. Yeah, I'd say like there could be some really bad consequences on the weekly if we ever lose 290. I'll just tell you that. Could be real bad. Don't want to lose that. Okay, and then we'll go to BNB real quick, which, been taken on the chin since all-time highs on the 28th after hitting the major 1272 for the first time ever just a week ago. Still probably wanting to see a 691 backtest. Would love it. It would be so good, and hopefully they could violate it, recapture it, reconfirm it. But you know, you impulsed on the breakout, people took profit, it's selling off, and I guess they're trying to hold on to this candle close from December 7th, the old all-time high. But yeah, I like 691 weekly. I mean, that is a bearish engulfing candle in the making. It could, you know, if any strength shows up in the next 19 minutes, then it might not engulf. But this is we're about to confirm a bearish engulfing on the weekly on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and BNB. XRP, no, because it was different. It's just making a lower weekly close than last week, though. So yeah, I think a check back after breaking 691, you would probably want to see them defend it successfully a couple times, and maybe that's where we could strategize a swing trade, position trade. But it's kind of, there's still some more downside. It's still not really that optimum of an entry. I mean, maybe on the weekly they hold 740. That would be crazy strong if this is defended and then there's no follow through on the bearish engulfing, and then you just start rallying off that. That would be crazy. I just think this is the bigger level, 691.74. Okay, y'all give me like 1 sec. I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. Like button, bell, sub. Be right back. I'll have in the chat. Okay, sorry about that. Not bad. Thanks to the 650-ish people here. It's a Sunday. We're just congregated for a week close. It's 16 minutes and change. BNB done. Let's go to Solana. That did lose its pretty key support, but they're trying to recapture it. But it is pretty miserable price action compared to like what we're seeing on XRP on its recovery. Even Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin by like 0.5%. But yeah, I want to see something good. Like look what they're today. All right, so yesterday what they do? They confirmed with a candle close a bearish breakdown. They did it. Today, nice. Bitcoin rallied off its lows. That 112 level was tested 2 times the support. Okay, scalpers come in, low volume. Okay, so Solana rallied too. So what's happening? They're testing 162.50, the top of the inflection zone, and at the same time, that 200-day simple moving average right there. I mean, it's being regarded as resistance right now, not support. So we really want to see them recapture and reconfirm this level as support. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, this demand line of a channel, take you down to 145. Things don't go well horizontally. You're looking at the 130s. Yeah, so is there enough of an edge? I don't think. The negative momentum is building. crazy. They took this thing down to over, they took it the bearish control zone. They've recaptured neutral, so you got that going for you. So there's just not enough on the daily. I mean, the data on the daily was pretty good, right? The upthrust, the back test of upthrust, and that is like the price action. That's TA respect. When you see price action correlation like this negatively to a zone, you kind of want the next thing to happen to be the markdown, because that's like what we look for swing trading. Like you want to see a spring back test of spring. Oh, look, engulfing candle. Okay, a signal candle, and look what happened. Ran to the next level. So that's good to see. Now we need to see something on the other side. We need to see something like that at this zone or lower. And that's it. I mean, this trade setup only hit 2 of the 4 before concluding. Sucks. But it doesn't mean it's over. We're just looking for some other structure to develop. Hey, a structure developed from June 5th all the way to July 5th, right? At inverse head and shoulders, there was a supply line that broke, back test of it. Okay, and then positive price action correlation to that zone, and then it ran, and then it pulled back. So hopefully just a higher low comes in. I just think they could take this to 136, and it would be fine. Because as long as you're making a higher low than previous discernible swing low, which is certainly the June 22nd low of 130, you're okay, more than before. Yeah, so there's still some downside potential, and it's fine. And that's maybe what August and September are for. Oh. All right, let us go to the weekly on this, which is kind of it's kind of a crazy weekly, man. I mean, like if they keep it above 130, 135, given enough time, I think you're fine. It's going to be a bearish engulfing candle, the likes of Bitcoin, the likes of Ethereum, the likes of BNB. It's in that category. So again, if we go to 135, 130, you're still technically okay. You're not in too much trouble until you're losing 130, because that is kind of everything. They have been defending and trying to defend. There's been a battle there from April of 2024 all the way to June of 2025. So well over a year of battles and successful. I mean, I guess if you say battles, then the victor would certainly be the buyers, the bulls. They won every battle. I mean, they did lose their footing, but it's not about the breakdown itself. It's about the follow-through. The follow-through was an immediate rejection, bullish engulfing, recapturing, and then reconfirmation, which is kind of gives you hope, right? That given enough time, the spring back test of spring of the very real level, then, okay, bearish engulfing candle price oscillates up and down, but never loses that. And then we eventually run to 250, 259. That means Bitcoin's going in price discovery again. The whole argument completely collapses when sellers take the price below 130, lose that level. Then yeah, we're cooked. We're probably going to like $60. That's a big if, right? So okay, so those are your bigger cryptos on the daily and weekly. So we've gone through them. Let's go to Dogecoin real quick. I mean, what they do? They finally took it back. You know, to see this right here, anchor point 1 and 2, it's 2025 downtrend. They finally broke out of the downtrend. We crescendoed, hit one target, nearing entry. You know, the entry was down at like 17.9 cents or something, so almost round tripped, but not quite. But it looks like maybe this level is being, they broke it. It was confirmed yesterday they broke it, but today they're trying to recapture it. So what a route, man. Like, think about this, like FOMOing. You know what was going on here? The Coinbase app was like number 10 on in the finance section. It's now 20 or something. It's already lost 10 rankings because the altcoin market's cooled off. But I'm just thinking about, like, new people came into this market probably during this pump. And I mean, you're talking like Dogecoin loses 35% of its value in 2 weeks from that top. This is what it's like. This market is designed to bring in new people and to destroy them. And market makers, Bosman does not care if they come back or not, because he'll always figure a way out of getting new people to be the same victims. So you pull back, scrubs get destroyed. They probably rage quit the whole market. Time goes by without enough moves to pike their interest. And then you look at the weekly and it's like, it's okay, man. I know it's front running, but man, if we get to 17, 16 cents again, we put in a third valley and we get positive price action there, man, we got real good structure, accumulation structure. You got a decent trend here, a bunch of higher lows. Someone's more than beforeing, okay? You pivot there, you can manage your risk optimally again, and you got really good upside. And that rule of 3 starts coming into play on a weekly time scale, which is crazy. So that's your Doge of 4% today, but I can't even tell. Can you tell, man? All right. Here's your quad screen. Let's talk about futures, the U.S. futures real quick. Up on the new week. All right, S&P top left, Dow Jones top right, NASDAQ bottom left, Russell 2000 bottom right. Well, I mean, small caps are down actually, 0.2%, yikes. But everything else is. Dow Jones good. It's almost flat. Yeah, S&P after that immaculate crescendo to the summertime pump, you know, with the instruments of the orchestra being Microsoft and Meta earnings at the same time. It was over, right? Next day, Amazon reported, was down 8+% to close on Friday. The macro sold off, everything just about sold off. And then NASDAQ, bottom left here, a beautiful channel for the summertime, and then that Jerome Powell volatility, and then it rallied just to upthrust to get unsuspecting FOMO scrubs wrecked. The whipsaw was crazy here. Yeah, you'll get that, man. A false bullish breakout one way and it starts reversing. Holy crap, it gets into... Orange juice is such a good example of the whipsaw effect of like structures being falsely broken out. Let me pull it up, show you like just the best example probably ever of a whipsaw. OJ, it was on 10%. Oh my god, dude, what happened? Good god, thing got murdered in days. But right there, see this top arrow, like the rising wedge was beautiful, and they tested, and then they one more, it was a false breakout, it was gonna do it, man, and then just broke down, bearish backtest, collapsed, crashed. But my god, what have they done? I mean, it was up 50% in a month or higher, and then it's just like in 1, 2, 3, 4 days. In 4 days, orange juice lost 28% of its value, trading like an S coin. Yes, orange juice. So never forget the whipsaw. False bearish breakouts, false bullish breakouts have consequences. And typically those whipsaws, you're looking for them the closer to the apex of the structure as possible. Apex being the convergence of the trend lines. That's when your probability increases a resolution. So you're paying attention to that and seeing that bearish engulfing candle being like, my god, man, that could be it. Okay. So futures are okay. Spider, S&P, and NASDAQ are fine for now, right? That was a really heavy hitting sell-off on Friday. Probably caught a lot of people off guard, but dude, it was a matter of time. Like, there was froth that was literally had already formed on top of the froth, which is just, it typically doesn't happen, man. You have CPAs, you have really smart people, CFAs, you know, discussing the overbought conditions where we're starting to become unhealthy. And that was like a week before the sell-off we saw on, you know, late last week. So we had like a couple requests. Let me just knock those out real quick. We got 6 minutes till the weekly close. Try to get the first one anyway. Neural wrapped ether on Uniswap. Oh my goodness, yeah, that's actually pretty good, man. Wow. Got a key. It's a little. See, here's the thing, man. I mean, it looks all right now, but talking about risk management, it's kind of started doing the thing, and it's harder to manage risk when you're so high off the level where you really should be looking. So the close you are to 196 to 223, the best it would be to construct a trading plan. because that level is so well established, line in the sand from history, that to lose it, to recapture, reconfirm it, not once but twice. There were two different good entries, so now it's just playing out. 5 minutes to the close, and it's up 15% today. I mean, I would think your upside potential would take you. There it is. I mean, it's easy, 563 to 594. So if you're in on this, and right, Bestage, you definitely took your long strategically on the spring back test, right? So you don't need. So you just, when you target the upside, it's 563, 594. At this point, you missed it if you went along it now. I mean, like, for real. You would just, how do you set a stop loss up strategically from where it is right now? It is from the optimum zone for entries. You are 100% removed. Literally, it is doubled in value since the spring back test, which is the technical indicator. It's a signal for you to long. You can't do anything. So all I can tell you is the target is 563, 594. If they ever broke that, my God, it's probably going to be 879. Yep, that's it. But beautiful. I mean, this one low, a second low. On the weekly, it's probably this crazy double bottom, which we understand, if it is, the breakout of the potential double bottom is 563. To break that with confirmation, maybe back test, measured moves probably at $9+. But it is beautiful on the weekly, isn't it? And there was something, just people need to be requesting these things when you should look. I'm trying to teach you a spring back test all the time, right?
Taking a look at Zora for me. Zora/USD Coinbase.
Gustavo, thank you so much, dude. We'll certainly look at Zora on Coinbase. But like, I'm in here, I'm doing everything I can to teach you these terminologies for free, right? I mean, you don't have to pay to watch the stream, and I try to provide as much value as I can to the viewer, and you don't have to watch ads or be signed up for YouTube Premium or anything, and I'm not any of that. I'm just crowdsourced. So I'm trying to help you learn the terminologies so you can identify them yourself, right? I'm trying to teach you how to fish. And then you're scanning, you find Eurolink, and then you're like, my God, dude, look, sometime in late July, dude, the spring back test happened on Neural. That's when you're requesting it. And then it's like, we look at it on stream, and there's 600 plus people that are like, oh my God, it's so easy to set up an entry and a stop loss, and we know our upside potential is massive, over doubling. Yeah. So, but just saying that, on the weekly, it could manifest into something more insane, where if they ever do break the neckline of the potential double bottom, again, $8.80 to $10 will be on deck. So bullish divergence. It was class A because of the lower low, slightly lower low. It was there. You had an edge. You had everything you could have dreamed of, but you just requesting it a little too late, 100% late. Thank you, dude. I hope that makes sense to some degree. If you don't get it, I don't know. Like, do what I can. Would have no rate cuts in September either. There probably won't be. Why would there be a rate cut in September? The market would have to be probably melting down. Like, I think like you'd have to have, like, China is invading Taiwan, and these semiconductors are crashing. Nvidia is like literally 1999, 2000, March 2000 crashing. That is probably the only way you're getting interest rate cuts. I think the equities market, I think like Jerome Powell at this point is going to be reactive to these markets. Like, if things are breaking, we're getting like what we got in March to April, but then April doesn't, like, the Trump tweet doesn't work and we continue marking down. Maybe we get a circuit breaker. I don't know. Like, why do y'all think that there might be an actual interest rate cut in September? Like, what would change from now to then outside of the markets marking down really bad, severely? Okay, next one was USAR. Rare Earth Incorporated. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, dude. Heart rate monitor, for sure. This is like a t-shirt I have. Like, well, you know, it's up 10% Friday. It was up 14% on Thursday. Morning Star on the 30th, Wednesday. So I guess you would say, with the data we have, I guess, wow. I mean, what is this? Untradeable, and then we start getting a swing low here. I'll just mark it with a horizontal ray. Right there, 1084. They didn't even test it, really. I mean, I love the higher lows. My God, man. Like, how could you ignore the higher lows more than before? But it's like, dang, dude. I mean, should have maybe on Thursday requested those because it was up 14%. But now Friday, it's up 10% more. And it's like, gosh, dang, you're just getting so insane. Yeah, it could be like, right, accumulation structure, 1 and 2, and then 3, bullish convergence, above that 200-day moving average. Anything above 1084 probably is golden. I think you have to respect this $15 reversal area. I mean, it is certain $15 is real, so they're going to go test that probably. If they break it, there are going to be serious consequences. You're probably going to go at 25%. I mean, $20 target. That's what you got going on. It actually does. But hey, wait a second. Rare earth materials ETF that we know was hitting a cycle bottom, like really hardcore. So if this is in any way correlated to that REMX chart, you cannot be surprised. So you said generational wealth transfer in the making. If this plays out, dude, if this is a 3 rising valley, it is a potential 3 rising valleys until the confirmation line is broken. That would certainly be 1661. Okay, that's just how the rules of the pattern work. Okay, so from the lowest point to the highest point of that structure, right there, an $8.30 structure from the breakout, the 100% measured move of this potential, because it's not confirmed, right? You have to break the confirmation line to confirm it, which would be again 1660. 100% measured move of the structure is 2480. So let's say it just, pull back up and down, but then it actually plays out, like for real. From where it is right now, you still have 77% upside, and that's minimum. Then you'd be in price discovery. There'd be no resistance. That's probably close to a 1272 fib extension from the highest high to lowest low. A little above the 1272, yeah, in the extension zone. Okay, so 2384, 2880 is your golden ratio. You just never know, man. It is showing lots of accumulation. There wasn't really anything you could do here, and now there's someone making the market. There's definitely someone enough. There's way more people involved in this asset than before. It was a liquid joke, and now it's not. Now there's like 10.79 million volume. You got earnings though in 8 days. God, dude, give me a break. So yes, actually really interesting on USAR. Of no surprise if it is a rare earth material related entity. Thanks, dude. Yeah, wish lithium would do something, but no, don't worry about it, dude. Wrecked. Okay, yeah, sorry, late, dude. Bad. The weekly candle has closed across all of crypto. Bitcoin has bearishly engulfed, confirmed, but on the daily we bullishly engulfed. But we gotta catch follow through. Just like on the weekly, we gotta catch follow through. So there it is. There's your freshly dried candle wax. We have bearishly engulfed. We have closed at the lowest level since June 30th. On the weekly, you can clearly see why there could be some more downside, going all the way to 104 up to 109,358. Like, that's a big zone, and they really never tested it after really breaking it. So to test that and holding it successfully would be great. But yeah, that's the weekly close there. Ethereum had a bearish engulfing candle confirmed up against major resistance. It was perfect, and it's like we know for a fact that a $3,000 Ethereum at this point would be possibly a golden opportunity to strategize a big long, where it's like, oh yeah, I might be holding this for a while. because we get a partial decline down there. We can strategize and entry and all that, and tight stop losses and max upside for just to target one back at 3,900. But then that's when 70% chance of a breakout off the partial decline being confirmed, and then break into 5K plus. So yeah, we're just long in the tooth of this consolidation structure, 500 plus days of development, and now we're just looking for that partial decline to present itself to us. Okay, then you got XRP's weekly close, which it wasn't great. It was the lowest weekly close since July 7th. Not a big deal, but just followed through candle from last week. 2 red weeks in a row, below 340. Good. You really want to hold above 290 on the weekly. Otherwise, yeah, it's like 260 maybe next on deck. And then we can go to Solana. Disappointing, but bearish engulfing candle confirmed. Nasty. I mean, at this point on the weekly, they're trying to hold on to like 158, I guess. But yeah, if you go to 135.81, it would be fine. No one would like it. People would hate it. They would rage quit the market, but it would be fine if we went back down there. That's it. That's Solana. And then BNB, bearish engulfing candle confirmed. Yikes. After hitting a 1272, probably would want to see a 660 to 691 test. So maybe we could strategize an entry. But welcome to us being now in the worst times of the year seasonally since like 1920. So just reality. Okay. That's it. Not a very exciting weekly close like last week. Last week, Bitcoin all-time highs on the close. BNB all-time highs on the close. It was like Ethereum highest weekly candle close since of 2025. It was pretty good. A pretty good week last week on the close, but 7 days later, not great. Okay, so looked at big ones, yep, and then just to see the weekly close confirmed. U.S. futures still holding up. S&P up 0.13%, 14%. The Nasdaq's up 0.23%, so that's nice. It's going to be probably choppy this month. Just remember that. Directionality might be harder to come by because we just had it so crazy the whole summer. Okay, Zora for Gustavo Fring. We are not the same. He wants it on Coinbase. Okay. Coinbase. Well, Mr. Gustavo, unfortunately, nothing we can really do here, right? Because it impulsed and it's like correcting some, and you'd be flipping coins at this point. You got no structure that would increase your probability of an outcome. They did hold 2 days in a row, 5.2 cents. That's nice, but I don't know if that really is going to cut it. I mean, just think about the asset you requested. Let's just think, since July 13th to its highest point, it went up 1,126%. You might very well be on the other side now. Like, blow off top, it's over, and, you beginning to correct. Corrections are what they are, a process. It takes time, and retrace probably around 50%, if that. Yep, 50% retrace. So you might get a short-term bounce. If you get an attempted rally here, pay attention to the failure to see a higher high. Yeah, wait for that. So nothing I can do, right? Not much I can do, man. You're looking for the framework. You can spend time in here watching the stream, learning about the framework, and then we have educational resources that would help you in that journey. And then you apply what you've learned, and then you tip the stream to honor the framework and to show that you have learned the framework. And then we look at it on the stream, and it's like, mother of God, this is like an actual trade setup. So yeah. Thanks, dude. I guess above 52 cents, you're fine. I don't think you want to own it below 52 cents because, yeah, this thing could easily round trip. Target probably be 2.5 cents below 5.2 cents. I mean, it's 50% downside, I guess, right? Anyway, we look at like, that was the last request, by the way. Azael, thanks for the sub on YouTube. So we look at like the lesser thans. That it was such a good start, and now yikes, you know, been correcting. Here's algo, no problems, right? I mean, like maybe hidden bullish divergence would develop but like it's just tough because where is it gonna pivot? You know, like where's gonna be a real good pivot point? Well, history shows you maybe where it went, 22 cents. Wow, there is a swing low there, so that is something to pay attention to. I mean, we made a low, we made a higher low, we actually made a slightly higher low, and we're just working on another higher low. So, okay, XLM, just correcting after that crazy run. It's difficult in these situations because crypto typically 886s. Like, what did it do here on from this low to high? It went down 78% of the way. From this low to high, it's not even retraced. It's retraced probably 50% or less. So they could rally it, lower high, and we roll over later, and then we make an 886. How'd SUI do? It would be interesting to see what happens if we can get a 297, 320 on SUI. But dang, man, here's your highest high. Here are two highs that are substantially lower than this high. Yeah, you would want to see what happens, what develops at 297, 390. There's a huge weight for lower prices on it a little bit. I mean, stuff like Uniswap, nice channel, okay. Well, they 867. That's a very real swing high back from 2020. Bullish engulfing candle right there. This is a really nice uptrend, isn't it? I could take it lower. Yeah, you need a positive macro day. You need Bitcoin to not roll over, not to catch follow through. But like I'm saying, on the new day, that day, you know what we got yesterday. Look at it on the 4 hour. It's garbage. It's like low volume, anemic little joke rally, still below the 4 hour 200 some moving average. Definitely below the old support resistance and no edge. That's the worst case. That's the worst thing about it. There's just no real edge. Ugh. Okay, we've been live a little over an hour. Just wanted to be here for you live. It is the 3rd of the month, so it's the third best day to join the Patreon. Patreon.com/MitchRayTA. You get trade setups, access to the Discord, you get access to my charts. I'm posting regularly, pinging you and all that. But, you know, above all, you know, the value you might receive in the Patreon, you are supporting a content creator who has never sold out, never accepted a sponsorship. I get sponsorship opportunities literally every day. I could accept money from an entity literally every day of my life. I swear, I'm not kidding. I get emails every day. Never even open the email. Just, oh, what a joke. Not doing that. So I'm 100% crowdsourced, 7.5 years. So if you want that to, I mean, if you really like, say respect to that.
BTC thoughts.
Thank you, Hokeki. Yeah. If you respect what I've done, 7.5 years, you want to support that, Patreon is the best way to do it because I have a team that also, you know, depends on Patreon. So it's like you're supporting the whole thing, the whole show, the Discord community, the YouTube channel. So just consider that. It's pinned above Mitrade TA. So yeah, let's look at XE to BTC. Sure. Let's see. On ice, I guess. Yeah, on ice. Oh my god, man. Wow. Uh-oh. You're getting to a really interesting point, man. Last time we were here, we were discussing the interesting way to look at this, where it's like it could be really bad, it could be really good, like for buyers or sellers. Where we're talking about like all you're doing is saying lower highs, lower lows, lower high, lowest high. But then it's like, would you be getting a springback test? It looks like you're getting a springback test. That's not good for the Bitcoin boys. Okay. for us in here. That's not great because look at this level, so undeniable. And look how they have given it is like a successful spring back test. Yeah, I mean, they tested it literally perfect the day of July 14th. You had that big positive candle on Friday, a 4.53% outperformance to Bitcoin. And you do, unfortunately, for now, okay, you do have it. I'll show you. You don't believe me? It's not a quite 886 though, so at least you got that going. It could be going lower, but you're like trying to complete an M shape here too. So if that is a successful spring back test, Bitcoin is cooked paired against gold. Yeah, if this play, let's just say like the spring back test succeeded. Well, that means gold will be outperforming Bitcoin for a while. It's just how it is. If the spring back test fails, yeah, maybe Bitcoin outperforms gold for a little while, but then you got to worry about, well, it hits an 886. What if they recapture the level later? They could. You're at a lower risk for gold on this chart.
Didn't round trip this time. Thanks, Mitch. My wedding is in October, hopefully price discovery then. Can you look at AMP?
Umbalumpa, thanks so much, dude. Yeah, we'll look at AMP. Sure thing, dude. And congratulations. Yeah, man, that's a big journey. I hope you have a spectacular wedding. Some pics in the community IRL, the Discord, when that happens. Thanks, dude. We will look at that. But yeah, that's also all I can tell you, man. Right? You got very real bullish divergence. Oh, the MACD histogram right here. I mean, that is right. It's kind of worrisome. But you saw the candle on gold was crazy. So this is where, I mean, for real, spring back test traders, they're taking their longs, they're in it, they're up, and they're just waiting for the huge move higher. If it's successful, I'm not acting like I know if the spring back test will be successful, but it's a decent start, right? On Friday, we will see. We'll come back to this and reassess maybe next week, whenever, you know. I have an alert set up higher and lower maybe, so you just kind of don't forget about it. It's like something you would forget about, you know. We're hitting support again, lower levels. I'll hear it higher. I'd hear it too. So, okay. Hageki, thanks again, dude, for the 20, Matt. Umbalumpa wants AMP. AMP. Yeah, well, I mean, it's not dead yet, but disappointing. Oh, what'd they do yesterday? Good God. Up 3%. It was up like probably 10% at the highs, but yeah, it's scammy. I guess you're okay above 0.3 cents, but you don't want to be losing these confirmation lows at this point. So it's not dead yet. Like, you got to actually fall below 0.3 cents first, and then it's dead. But you're still on the lower risk end of things. You're still at the bottom of a range. That's it. That's where you are. So it's like this idea is still there. Like the weekly looks great. I mean, like it did look great. It may not look as good now because it's on a lower high than the previous high. They're going for a retest probably. You're just going to pray it holds. If it doesn't hold 0.3 cents, I don't think you would want to own it at all. Because the whole argument of why one low, why second low locally with bullish divergence and almost immediately failing on the weekly, that's a real bad sign. That's not good. You shouldn't be failing like that so fast. So you got your threshold for validity. You have a threshold for an argument to own it. If it falls below that, you then have an argument to no longer own the asset. That's it, dude. Pretty pathetic. Thanks again, Oompa Loompa man. All right, Bitcoin. Bearish and golden candle confirmed on the weekly. They hit 112 and bounced it, but no edge. There's no edge, dude. They go retest it again, man. We have a bad macro on the index funds. My God, it would be bad for Bitcoin and all of crypto. So just that's where we're at. Thank y'all for coming out. Again, third best day to join the Patreon. Patreon.com/MitchRayTA. When you join or you renew, you are supporting someone who never sold out for all this time, man. So it's just your way of paying it back. I do want to say we did have some renewals and we did have some new joiners. Thank you so much, 1060, for joining first time ever. Tyler, thank you for the join the Citadel first time ever. Jimmy Hart, and then I'm Not That Guy. Thank you all for joining the Patreon, and then thank you so much to all the others that renewed over the weekend. You have no idea how grateful I am. So thank y'all for all that. So let's hold the door, man, or be destroyed. Going into the worst time of the year for everything. I'll be back. Till next time, respect the tea.